Howdy! Welcome to this beginner video for operating the Pro Series 20x12 laser printer. The goal of this video is to explore the different capabilities of the laser printer and get familiar with the different subsystems and parts, as well as controlling the laser printer from the LCD screen. The Pro Series laser printer is an exciting machine with many different capabilities. The two main operating modes of the machine are raster engraving and vector cutting. In raster engrave mode, we upload an image in our software and the machine will adjust the intensity of the laser based on how dark a pixel is. For the vector cut, we need to upload a vector file. The vector file describes the paths the laser head will follow to cut the material in our design. This is a list of the materials that can be cut or engraved with the Pro Series 20x12 laser system. Materials like stone, glass, and coated metals cannot be engraved, and this includes printed circuit boards. For PCBs, a process called etching is used to selectively remove copper from a piece of laminate. After painting the coated metal with enamel paint, you can engrave parts of it out, exposing the coated material. You can then dip it in a chemical solution to remove the exposed copper. In this way, you can also print PCBs. Do not cut any materials containing PVC or vinyl. This is very important as they produce corrosive vapors that are hazardous to your health and can also damage the machine. If you're unsure about a material, ask a staff member for assistance. Before powering on the machine, make sure all three subsystems are connected and powered on. The first subsystem is the water chiller, and it's responsible for cooling down the laser CO2 tube. If you're not instructed by a lab staff member, never open any panels of the machine, especially the panel where the CO2 tube is located. It's very fragile, and breaking the CO2 tube will render the laser inoperable. The second system is the air exhaust. Some materials might generate harmful fumes when exposed to the laser. The air exhaust system guides the fumes outside of the building. The third system is the air assist, which blows air out of the tip of the laser head. This helps to cut through the material faster, and more importantly, it helps prevent the formation of flames. Make sure you power on all three subsystems, and then power on the Pro Series laser printer. Many of the subsystems, as well as the laser printer, contain safety icons that you should be familiar with, like fire hazards, electrical hazards, and fragile parts. Review the safety section of the operating manual found in the IMSO website for an extensive list of these hazards. After you plug in the machine to an outlet, you will need to turn it on by rotating the key that's on the machine. The machine will start a boot up process. After booting up, the machine's IP address will be displayed on the LCD screen. If at any point you need to stop the machine, or if there is a hazard, like a fire, press the emergency stop or e-stop button to power off the machine. The closest fire extinguisher is located at the location shown in the picture. Now, let's take a look at what's inside our laser printer. This is the laser head, where the laser beam is directed at the material. Underneath is a honeycomb table, which the material will rest upon. The height of the table can be adjusted to focus the laser, and this process is explained in the full spectrum laser operation video. From here, we can also see two of the total 3 mirrors. If you look closely, you can see some burn marks from previous jobs on the table. This is nothing to worry about, and it happens when the laser operates without any material inside or when the power settings are set too high. The mirror configuration is shown on your screen, with mirrors number 1, 2, and 3. The focus lens is situated under the laser head, as shown in the picture. The CO2 laser is invisible, but there is a low power red laser which shows where the beam will be directed. Now let's move on to the LCD screen. There are a total of 9 modes that you can toggle between by pressing the button on the left. The first 2 modes allow you to manually jog the XY position of the laser head in either fast or slow mode. You do that by pressing the arrows on the LCD screen as shown. When in this mode, you can also press the home button and the laser head will move to the home position in the upper right corner. The next 2 modes allow you to manually move the Z position of the honeycomb table in either fast or slow mode. You do that by pressing the up or down arrow buttons on the LCD screen. When pressing the home button in this mode, the table will autofocus. The honeycomb table will start moving up in the Z direction until the touch sensor contacts the material. Then it will move a few millimeters back in order to provide clearance between the sensor and the material. If you ever see the sensor being in contact with the material when printing, immediately stop the laser to avoid damaging the machine or the sensor. The other modes include alignment, which is performed when the mirrors of the machine are not aligned. If you have reason to believe the mirror alignment is not correct, ask a staff member for assistance. Other modes include choosing to print previous jobs, configuring your network connections, etc. Since these modes are not generally used when operating the laser, we won't get into more detail. In the operation video for the full spectrum laser, I'll cover how to connect and operate the machine in order to raster engrave and make vector cuts. When you're finished using the laser, power everything off. Start with turning off the machine by turning the key and unplugging all the subsystems. Wipe down the walls of the machine and clean all the fallen debris under the honeycomb table. Also, make sure the motor parts are free from excess material, which can damage the machine. While powered on, the laser should never be left unattended. Completely power down all equipment before leaving. These were some of the basic information about the laser. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.